In this series, we're talking about facing change and how, when it makes sense to, we should be dropping our familiar tools in the face of change because we don't know what the future holds. And talking about change, talking about shifting from comfort to impact, from motion to action. And check out the previous videos if you're not sure what I'm talking about there. But in talking about these things, it's really easy to get bogged down in but this is all that I've ever known. I've invested into this. I've invested down this career path, down this way of working. And sometimes it may help to bear in mind that your previous experience is a gift and not a directive. Just because you have always been this thing or done this role or been this way or used these specific skills doesn't mean that that is how you have to be forever. Because it's okay to change your mind, which is again a reference to earlier in the series. So in the face of change, you can dig your heels in and refuse to move with it, or you can choose to ride the wave. And change is hard and uncomfortable. We're all facing it, and we're all facing this rapidly changing post-pandemic world that's left us a little bit exhausted and battle-weary. And it's something that we're not talking about enough, the collective and individual trauma that we've all just been through. So in facing an uncertain future, something that I think is critical to take with us is to be more human. Critical to you having an impact or a meaningful impact is to be more human. Because no matter how uncertain or digital crazy the future may be, we're all still human beings, craving, creating, and responding to human moments. I fundamentally believe that the headspace and the heart space of human beings is the most untapped natural asset on the planet. I'll say that again. I believe that the headspace and the heart space of human beings is the most untapped natural asset on the planet. I'm sure that many of us have spent time in a job where our innate brilliance is not being tapped into, where your magic, your potential, your headspace and your heart space are not being accessed. I know I have. And this matters because even in the face of constant change and facing an uncertain future and a rapidly changing world of work, we're still humans who work at companies, with them, for them, and in them. But what is a company? A legal entity, a name, a product. In a lot of ways, a company is just a fictional being. All that a company is a group of humans who show up every single day and work towards hopefully shared objectives. We all work for and with and inside of companies, but most of the time, the work that you do does not impact the company. You impact the people who are the company and who change the course of the company. A company is really just the sum of its parts, the sum of its human dedication and care. A group of people who are continually switching each other on or off, influencing each other's thinking, psychological safety, willingness to participate, growing each other each day, or depleting each other, accessing the headspace and the heart space of one another, or not. Every single interaction that we have with other people leaves them feeling either switched on and grown or switched off and depleted. So in actual fact, you are an architect of experience for the people that you lead or work with on a daily basis. Our most resounding impact happens on a deeply human level. A company is just a group of people, and a company doesn't create profits. Profits, shares, and dividends are created by parents, sons, and daughters. The dedication, discretionary efforts, and level of care that these people put into their work translates into company success. You impact people. 10 years ago, I did this Google search, and I don't remember exactly what I was trying to search for because it was a while ago now, but I was writing an article for my blog at the time, and I typed the phrase, "My job makes me," into Google. And the autocomplete prompts that Google served me stopped me dead in my tracks. And these autocomplete prompts are much the same today, and they still hit like a punch in the gut. When you type the phrase, "my job makes me," into Google, you get prompted with things like, "my job makes me miserable," "my job makes me depressed and anxious," "my job makes me angry," "my job makes me feel stupid," and "my job makes me want to cry." So many of us have experienced places where our headspace and heart space is not being accessed. And the jarring reality is that the job doesn't do any of this. The company doesn't do any of this, because companies don't create experiences, people do. We do. We create moments that leave people feeling switched on and grown, or switched off and depleted. We impact people. You impact people.